Hello everyone, this is Tricky and welcome to episode 3 of Future Mega Evolutions. In our last episode we covered the water type, so be sure to check that one out if you missed it. And also in episode 1 we covered the dark types. So in the last episode I asked you guys what type you would like to see me cover next, and ghost types won. So I'm very excited to show you all of the amazing possibilities. Be sure to put what Pokemon you would rather see with a Mega Evolution in the comment section below, along with the type of Pokemon you would like to see me cover next. We've already covered water and dark, so comment away. On screen right now is some art that people have submitted to me. Thank you so much for even submitting anything to me. I love looking at everyone's art. You guys are so talented, and I honestly wish that I could show off a lot more. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. To be completely honest with you, there are not that many ghost Pokemon left to cover. Ghost Pokemon are actually very limited. There are not that many, so it kind of would be cheating if I put every single ghost Pokemon on this list. So painfully, I'm only limited to 10. So with that said, taking our number 10 spot is Golurk. Whenever I am facing a Golurk, it looks so freaking powerful. Its design makes it look a lot more intimidating than it really is. This Pokemon can be used as a very strong Pokemon, but its total base stat is actually only 483, which is not really that good. I mean, it's not completely terrible, but it could be better. A Mega could fix that. I don't know, it just looks so giant and I kinda expect a lot more from it. It's weaker than the evolutions, but the evolutions are freaking god anyway. But this thing looks like it would be something powerful. It has tons of weaknesses. Ghost, water, grass, ice, dark. That's way too many weaknesses. Its defense isn't that bad, but again, I still think that it needs to be a little bit better since it has so many weaknesses. You guys gave me some very nice clarification when it comes to Mega Evolutions and the HP stat. In fact, the HP stat does not change whatsoever, and for some reason I thought that it did. An increase in attack, special defense, and defense would be very beneficial to a Mega Golurk. I mean, it does have that lovely fighting and electric immunity, but still, in most cases, it doesn't really save it. Plus, imagining a Mega Golurk, it's gonna be giant. Moving on to number 9, we have Aegislash. Now, I know what you're thinking. Aegislash does not need a Mega. This thing destroys lives anyway. It got banned. It's in the Ubers now. Why would you want Aegislash to have a freaking Mega? But this design is way too beautiful for me to pass up. I can't. It's so creative and I love it. I know that Aegislash is supposed to be a sword and shield, but imagining some kind of spectral figure appearing whenever it Mega Evolves again, holding the sword and the shield. They could even use that for some sort of legendary story that it used to be a legendary. They could make it so epic somehow, like maybe Aegislash used to be a legendary Pokemon but got sealed inside of a sword. So in a sense, it probably just got banished just like Giratina. I don't know, my imagination's going crazy, so let's go ahead and move on. Taking our number 8 spot, we have Chandelure. This is another Pokemon that doesn't necessarily need a Mega, mostly because it has a total base stat of 520, and in my personal opinion, it's one of the most powerful ghost types in the game. And having that fire typing is excellent for steel, bug, and ice types, and you usually get very scared whenever it comes on screen, and I absolutely love this Pokemon. I don't really know what they could possibly do if they did give it a Mega. I'm mostly just curious to see what the design is. Of course, they could increase its defense because it does have a lot of weaknesses as well because of the dual typing, and most definitely its special defense. That's probably the most important factor here. Still, this thing would be a monster. Taking our number 7 spot, we have Giratina. The main reason why I even put Giratina on this list is mostly because I would like to see a primal Giratina. For those of you who are new to my channel, I actually covered Pokemon I would like to see with a primal form about a year ago, so if you would like to see more opinions on that, I would go check that out. I'm very much aware that legendaries are capable of receiving Megas like Rayquaza and Mewtwo, but since Giratina is a part of the creation trio, I honestly think a primal form would be a lot more fitting. On top of that, Dialga already has a primal form, but it's only in the Mystery Dungeon series and they really haven't built off of that. But anyway, another really cool idea is if Giratina's primal form is actually what it looked like before Arceus banished it. That would be amazing. I like it a lot whenever the story gets a lot deeper than what you're expecting, but that's probably why I even want a primal Giratina to begin with. Taking our number 6 spot, we have Dusknoir. Dusknoir is also a very powerful ghost type Pokemon with a total base stat of 525, and since it doesn't have a dual typing, it only has 2 weaknesses. On top of its insane power, this Pokemon has a brilliant design. Duskull's evolutionary line is probably one of my favorites in the game, but then again, I am a giant ghost Pokemon fangirl. But in any case, if they were to give Dusknoir a Mega Evolution, the only thing that I could really see that it needs improvement in is its speed. It's very slow, but it kind of makes up for that for its very high defense and special defense stat, plus its attack is insane. So if this thing is choice banded and you see see it on your screen. It's probably gonna kill you unless you have something to counter it with. But besides that, I think it would be really cool. There's some really interesting concepts out there that I really wanted to show you guys. And while I'm thinking about it, please go down to the description and check out all the artists who made all of these brilliant designs. I mainly make these top 10s revolving around artwork strictly to promote their pages. And if you visit their DeviantArt pages and shower them with your love, that would mean the world to me, and honestly to them as well. They put a lot of work in their stuff, and it sucks that it gets overshadowed, which is why I throw it in your faces all the time. But people also ask me what kind of music I use, and every single video I've ever posted, I link the people who make the music that's in the background. So I apologize for the little outburst right there. Let's go ahead and get back to the top 10. Taking our number 5 spot, we have Shedinja. I see this Pokemon quite a lot in competitive, and it's pretty fun to use. It only has 1 HP, but if you give it a focus sash and you use it properly, this thing will destroy other people's teams, or it could possibly destroy you if you're facing it. For those of you who are unfamiliar with a focus sash, you basically give it to your Pokemon, and if the opponent hits you with a move that would actually kill your Pokemon, the focus sash allows it to hang on with 1 HP. And it only works if it's gonna be a 1-hit KO. But Shedinja only has 1 HP anyway, so can you see how this thing could get pretty annoying? Anyway, I think Mega Shedinja would be very interesting, mostly because I want to see it do a lot more things. I've said in previous videos that I like it when Mega Evolutions give it a completely new playing style rather than just buffing what it already has. Having 2 ways to fight with Shedinja just sounds very fun to me. Moving on to number 4, we have Rotom. Rotom already has a lot of forms anyway, so it could get pretty tricky to figure out an interesting buff that wouldn't break the game. Every single form has its pros and cons, and Rotom is a very excellent choice to use in competitive battling. However, what I would like to see is a mega form for the original form of Rotom. I think it's very adorable, and though you can use it, obviously its other forms are way more beneficial to your battle. Having a mega evolution for a normal Rotom would be very interesting and add yet another fun way of playing with this little Pokemon, because it's cute. I just lost my train of thought, but anyway. Rotom has a very large base stat as well. 520 is a juicy number, but I would just love to see normal Rotom get a little bit more time on the playing field. Moving on to number 3, we have Cofagrigus. The concepts that I found were really interesting, and the fact that its body is actually leaving the coffin is amazing. Cofagrigus is kind of a defensive Pokemon because it's kind of in its little coffin, but whenever it comes out, it becomes a speedy attacker. I'm sure a lot of people would agree with me that having 2 different playing styles is a lot more fun than just buffing one, like I said before. Of course, boosting a certain stat of something that's pretty up there can be helpful, but doesn't really add anything new. I love it whenever they add a little bit more variety, and it makes you think of new strategies to help you win. Taking a number 2 spot, we have Mismagius. I absolutely love Mismagius to pieces. Its design is simply adorable, and it's not just because I'm obsessed with purple, I promise. But Mismagius has a giant move pool, and it can learn tons of beneficial special moves. While this Pokemon is excellent in battle, there are others that outclass it in many ways. Mismagius is very fast, but common Pokemon such as Swellow are able to outspeed it. This is a ghost, make it a little bit speedier. That would be really awesome if they were able to increase its speed stat just a little bit. Its stats are pretty consistent with special attack, special defense, and speed all being 105, but a buff in all 3 would help this Pokemon a lot. As long as they don't mess up its design, I'll be happy with it. Mega Mismagius, please. Now, before I reveal number 1, I just want to remind you guys to check out episode 1 and 2. The playlist will be in the description below, so go check that out. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like this video. It really does help out. We are working towards world domination. And vote for what Pokemon type you would like to see me cover in the next episode. So taking our number 1 spot is Froslass. Froslass is probably the most realistic Pokemon on this list that would even receive one. Glalie, which is a part of its evolutionary line, already has a Mega, so it would make sense that this Pokemon received one as well. This is a great Pokemon too, but I feel like a Mega would definitely help it out to a very large degree. Froslass is mostly used to lay out its little spikes and taunt its foes and stuff like that, but it's overshadowed by a lot of stronger Pokemon. I said that very weird, but don't judge me. The good thing is that Froslass is very fast, but they can increase its speed and its defense somehow. It's a tragically beautiful Pokemon. It kind of makes me sad. It looks so sad all the time. And it even makes me even sadder that it gets overshadowed by so many Pokemon. It has a great design. It's a very interesting Pokemon. And I think that Froslass and Glalie would be a great duo together with their Megas. So give it one. But anyway, those are my top 10 ghost Pokemon that I would like to see with a Mega Evolution. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Please leave a like I said before. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.